What's up, Hokie fans? This is Coach Mike Holmes, contributor with the Sons of Saturday, and this is the Hokie Hitter of the Week for the beatdown of those UVA Cavaliers. What a great game overall. Offense, defense, and special teams. Everybody contributed to the victory. Tootin had a touchdown, kickoff return. Defense played lights out, knocking Tony Calandria on his butt basically the entire game. The secondary played great. Mansour Delane got a pick. But what we want to talk about today is really breaking down how our offense has grown and developed over the course of this season. As Kyron Drones becomes a more developed quarterback and continues to grow in every aspect of his game, throwing the ball, running the ball, managing the offense, what we are seeing is Tyler Bowen, the rest of the offensive staff at Virginia Tech, feeling more confident that they can do more things, get a little bit more creative, and be able to continually build on the successes that we've had as an offense. What we're going to look at today are a couple of huge touchdown plays that were run early on in the game that really set the tone, really showed how much further along in our rebuild we are compared to that school up north. UVA really didn't stand a chance from the get-go. They had played some pretty solid defense against some pretty good quality competition throughout the course of the season. You know, they hung tight with Louisville. They hung tight with NC State. They beat Duke. They beat Chapel Hill in Chapel Hill. And so it was a very solid team for the most part. But when it really came down to it, our offense, defense, special teams, all three phases were just leaps and bounds better on the road against those Wahoos. So let's take a look at the first play we want to break down. This is the 4th and 2 conversion, the Stephen Gnell touchdown. This was a really excellent use of motion, but more important, it was Kyron Drones being able to diagnose and recognize things on the fly based on something maybe they've seen on film or maybe they had seen in previous games. But Kyron Drones' ability to be able to execute this play to perfection and being able to read certain things, timing was just right. So let's go ahead and break it down a little bit, shall we? All right, so first off, we're going to look at the formation here. So UVA on this 4th and 2. 4th and 2, Virginia Tech is in plus territory. We're on UVA's side of the 50-yard line, so there's a really good chance that we could either try to run the ball or we could throw it. UVA looks like they're kind of selling out on the run here. They have kind of a run blitz called, and we'll go over what that looks like here in just a little bit. But UVA's defense, they try to give us a little bit different look. You know, their base defense all year has been kind of an even front, 4-man front, which I'll draw up here in a little bit. But in this particular instance, they line up in an odd front. So you see they have 2 4-eyes with the zero technique right in the middle. They have an outside linebacker that's going to be pressing on the offensive right. They have their 2 backers in the middle. Corners on the outside. They have a nickel back over here over top of Tucker Holloway and a couple of safeties high shifted over to the offensive right. A couple things that Drones is gonna notice right off. One thing Tyler Bowen has used a lot of this year is motion to help Kyron Drones determine what the coverage is going to be. You can usually tell something is going to be either a zone or it's going to be man based on how the defense reacts to motion. So in this particular instance, Benji Gnell is actually going to motion all the way across the field and line up in that H-back roll to the offensive left. When that happens, this safety up top, actually, who was over top of Gnell, really just resets and kind of stacks over the cornerback. Now, when a quarterback is looking at this coverage over here and he sees that, okay, I have one receiver over here, but I have 2 guys that are lined up over top of him, there's a pretty good chance that one of these 2 is going to come on a blitz. This is a pretty key indicator that's going to happen. So now he knows that I have a blitz coming off the corner, which means that right now I have a free safety in the middle of the field, and I have a safety who's playing Gnell on this side. On this half of the field, looks like they're playing a kind of almost like a cover two look, where the safety back here is going to have flat responsibility, probably up back to about 10 yards downfield, 8 to 10 yards downfield, and this free safety is going to be responsible for covering anything that goes deep of that. Okay. So as we get to this play going here, a couple things are going to happen. This is going to be a split zone run look at the very beginning. Okay, that means the offensive line is all going to be blocking to their left, like it's an inside zone to the left. Bashal Tootin and Kyron Drones have an outstanding mesh and a play fake, and he attacks that play side A gap here, and it really brings everybody along. So that backer fills, the Mike backer fills as well. This outside linebacker steps up into coverage. But what makes it a split zone is that now you have this H-back coming across who is going to get that block. The idea here is that if there is a cutback, Tootin is going to be able to kind of take that back against the grain, against the blocking, and you're going to have a kick out here by that tight end. The blockers to the backside of this play do a great job of stalk blocking their guys. It looks like a run all the way. Couple of key things that happen here. The free safety, his eyes get locked in the backfield because he sees the run, he freezes, he doesn't get into his drop. The other thing that happens when this cornerback, as we looked at our pre-snap read, one of these two are coming. The cornerback comes in hard downhill. It's going to be hard for him to adjust when Drones ends up pulling the ball and ends up rolling out to his right. This safety also gets caught with his eyes looking in the backfield, and he freezes. So that means Stephen Gnell has a good, strong inside release and gets up the seam, and there is nobody there covering. Drones, all he has to do is make one nice, easy throw. He puts it right on the money. Gnell is able to take it to the house, mostly because the run fake, the split zone look, everybody stepping to their gap hard, linemen doing a good job of not getting too far downfield, holding this free safety and the strong safety over here with holding their eyes in the backfield, and Gnell being able to release. This was a 4th and 2 call that early in the game, and probably in previous weeks, we might have tried to either kick a long field goal or we might have tried to run it and get the first down. But this shows the offensive staff's faith in Drones and his ability to be able to make that read, to be able to diagnose the coverage and be able to execute. Really outstanding job by all involved here. So let me get rid of what I got on the board here. The second play we're going to look at is the Tucker Holloway reverse touchdown. What is great about this particular play is the Virginia Tech Hokies have shown on film previously that Xavier Turner Bradshaw is a weapon in the run game. And we showed it against NC State the prior week when he scored on his reverse. So if UVA had watched any film on Virginia Tech at all, they were going to be able to realize that XTB is going to be a threat in the run game. And so that is really what Tyler Bowen and company relied on. They relied on the fact that that UVA had seen this on film. They had seen it as a threat, and they were going to do whatever they could do when number 5 was on the field to make sure to stop him. So let's draw it up here a little bit. Okay, so we got offensive line played great in this game, by the way. So we're going to have, let's see, we have Daquan Wright over here. We got Tucker Holloway over here. We have Felton on the outside over here, and we have Xavier Turner Bradshaw this way. We got 1 and 33 out to here. Now, UVA goes back to their base defense look on this. Okay, so they're gonna have a 5 technique. They have a 3 tech here a 1-5 technique. They're actually going to be playing more of a shell. Okay, so they're going to have a kind of a double free safety look here. They're going to have corners out here, but the corners are playing way off. They have turned to the inside, which is a good indicator for a quarterback that they're playing a zone coverage. They're going to be bailing as the ball is being snapped. Okay, they have their strong side linebacker right over here, over top of right. They have their mic and their backer here. Okay, so as this play begins to develop, a couple things are going to happen. Number one, drones sees that there's zone. Okay, so there's no need to make any audibles because they know what play is called. The key elements to this play, I absolutely love how this was designed. So Virginia Tech makes it look so much like we're running the jet sweep. Everybody does their job. They sell it as hard as they possibly can. So as soon as XTB here goes in motion across, okay, once again, because it's zone, nobody moves. Everybody's playing kind of their base on defense. But Daquan Wright, great arc block. Tootin gets out here, great arc block. Everybody is blocking everybody's blocking their proper direction. On the outside, however, the line, with the exception of Bob Schick, okay, is blocking back against the grain. So they want to isolate this. They want to isolate this 5 technique here to the outside. So as soon as this play starts, Bob Schick goes into what's commonly referred to as a G pull or a skip pull. Okay, he actually gets out behind, and he's going to wrap around here as well. And when he pulls, and you see the tight end and the running back all go against this way, this backside safety here for UVA, he starts coming downhill. The Mike backer and the backer both start coming downhill. These cornerbacks, they have opened up. They've already bailed because they're trying to prevent anything from getting beat deep. Okay, so once this is all started, everything at this point looks like we're running this jet sweep, and everybody on the UVA defense has committed to going in this direction. So when XTB gets that handoff from Kyron Drones and he continues on, Tucker Holloway orbits around. He gets that nice pitch from XTB and is able to turn around and take it to the house. What really finishes this play is Daquan Felton has a nice stalk/crack block. He's able to seal off here, and as soon as Kyron Drones hands the ball off to XTB, he's able to get around the outside and help create that wall. So the interior of the line minus Bob Schick and Parker Clements, as soon as they have timed it right, 1-1002, they all release downfield. They are all able to get their hands on somebody, and basically Tucker Holloway has a clear escort into the end zone. The key elements to this play: Tyler Bowen looked at what they had done previously, what had been a success for them, and was able to create a play to utilize the defense's eyes and have the defense be able to exploit what the defense considers a tendency. Every time number 5 is on the field, he gets the ball in his hands, and we have to do what we can to stop him because he can take it to the house at any time. So Tyler Bowen used this against UVA to break that tendency, and that's only going to be able to increase what we can do in the future. Because the other great thing is that as dangerous as 5 is with the ball and 33, all of our playmakers, we've seen on special teams this year that Tucker Holloway has an outstanding ability with the ball in his hands, the outstanding vision on punt returns, and now we're seeing it a little bit in the run game, and we're seeing it on offense as well as a receiving threat. The offensive game plan is only going to continue to grow and to expand, especially now that we have 15 days, 15 practices building into the bowl game that we are now eligible for, and we'll figure out where we're going this weekend. scheme as a whole is only going to continue to grow and develop now that we've made these adjustments, and we trust number one in the backfield with being able to diagnose defenses, being able to make reads, and the rest of the offense has stepped their game up as well, and everybody is playing so much better. And so when we get into this bowl game, we should expect, as Hokie fans, for this offense to really continue to blossom, continue to develop. And as we move on into the offseason and we start getting into spring ball, we might start adding a little bit more wrinkles, some more concepts in the passing game, because as number one continues to grow and continues to develop, it will only allow us to keep getting better on the offensive side of the ball. That relieves the pressure off the defense, relieves the pressure off special teams, and makes an overall better product on the field for the Hokies. Thank you so much for everybody who has watched this season. I have thoroughly enjoyed making these videos week after week. It has been an absolute pleasure to be involved with the Sons of Saturday, and I really thank them for the opportunity to be able to put this on their YouTube channel and to be a part of the podcast from time to time. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free. You can hit me up on the X app at Hokie DMB or at Coach Mike Holmes. Either one works if you want to get hold of me. I really appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like the YouTube page, subscribe to the Sons of Saturday, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and keep looking for content in the off season. I will be going back through previous games and going back through certain great moments in Hokie history, offense, defense, and special teams throughout the offseason. So I'll continue this content working throughout the offseason. So if you have any ideas or any suggestions of plays that you want me to look at and break down from the coach's perspective, just hit me up and let me know. Other than that, as always, go Hokies.